Hello, world. Hello. This is Jared, and I have an opinion to share. I was just on Facebook last night, and I commented on someone's post. They had asked for thoughts on the recent news story where a pastor had refused to shut his church and was still gathering people together and was facing the consequences. And there's a whole string of comments that was all going in one direction. It was basically condemnation for this guy. Now, I am not condemning him or supporting him, okay? I don't really know enough about the details and frankly don't care. But I did have an opinion about social distancing and all of the isolation and stuff that we're facing today. And so I shared my opinion, and actually it just happened to be going upstream against all of the comments. And so of course I had some attacks. And so this video is about that. So here's a little bit of what I said in my post. I said, I think the social distancing and stay-at-home logic is fundamentally flawed, and we are close to a national disaster because of these rules. And I said, the rules are short-sighted. Now, when I said that, someone responded in sarcasm and they're like, you just hate old people. And I'm like, no. I actually like old people. And I try to revere them and respect them and honor them and help them in any way I can. You know what it's like? It's like, a guy with big muscles and a wife beater t-shirt, and he's walking down the street, and I go up to him and I say, did you beat your wife today or yesterday? And there's no right answer to that question. The question itself is flawed. And it's like, well, no, I actually like my wife and love her, and I don't beat her at all, So the question itself is like, no, I actually like old people. And I'm not saying that I hate old people. I love them. And I want them to quarantine themselves if they feel they're at risk, okay? And I think that anybody who is at risk, maybe because of pre-existing health conditions, they should quarantine themselves, okay? But I don't think that an economy should shut down just for those people. Let me be very, very, very clear here, okay? If you shut down a nation's economy, it has disastrous consequences, okay? Now, I think I know what I'm talking about. I've never run a country, but I have seen enough to think that what I'm saying is correct, and I'm sticking my neck out there and giving my opinion. Here, do this, okay? Get on Google and Google this. BBC News, and search for an article called coronavirus, : That's like a colon mark, coronavirus, : Don't type colon. Coronavirus, : India's pandemic lockdown turns into a human tragedy. You need to read that, and you need to weep for the people and imagine their suffering. And imagine that could be where we are if things don't change, okay? Here in America, we are very wealthy, okay? I am rich, I am warm and comfortable, and I'm not feeling really any pangs of suffering from this shutdown. But there are lots of people in India who are feeling that. You see, here in America, we're very wealthy. We're at a high standard of living. And so we can drop down a lot before we start to suffer and feel effects. People in India, the people that are living back to back in slums and are just living paycheck to paycheck and have no hope of future, just trying to get by, they have no savings, no comfort. Those people are down here. Okay, already. And when a nation goes to lockdown mode, what happens to the people that are already down there? They suffer, okay? You need to read that article and think about what it's saying. Those people suffer. If we continue on as a nation with this path that we're on, with an economic shutdown, our standard of living is going to come down, and we're going to get down to the bottom, and people are going to suffer, okay? Old people are going to die. The at-risk are going to die. People that don't have money, they are going to suffer. They're going to die. And I don't want to see that happen, okay? So when I say these things like we need to stop this and people need to get back to work, I actually am saying it because I don't want people to die. And I love old people and I don't want them to die. In the words of our unesteemed leader, President Trump, he said this because he's kind of seen it in a good way. He said, we can't have the cure be worse than the problem. And I agree totally with that. You can't make the cure worse than the problem, and that's what's happening. So wake up, people.